Ever wondered what are the things that TSA doesn't want to see in your checked luggage? Well, brace yourself for an enlightening journey as we delve into this topic. The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, has strict regulations about what can and cannot be packed in your checked luggage. This is not just about being fussy. It's all about ensuring safety on flights, protecting passengers and crew alike from potential dangers. Understanding these regulations is crucial. It can save you from unnecessary hassle and stress, not to mention potential fines. After all, no one wants to be that person holding up the line at security. So, whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or a novice traveler, this information is invaluable. You might be surprised by some of the items on this list, but don't worry, we've got you covered. Now let's dive right into the 18 items that you should avoid putting in your checked luggage. Starting with number 1, we've got aerosols. Yes, you heard that right. Any aerosol, including your favorite hairspray or deodorant, is a no-go in your checked luggage. The pressurized containers can explode under changes in pressure or temperature, posing a significant risk to the safety of the flight. So even though you want to look and smell your best upon arrival, it's best to leave the aerosols at home. Now on to number 2 on our list. Bear spray. You might be wondering, who brings bear spray on a plane? Well, it happens more often than you might think, especially among those adventuring into bear country. However, bear spray is a pepper-based deterrent and is considered a hazardous material due to its explosive properties. Therefore, it's not allowed in either your checked or carry-on luggage. If you're heading somewhere where you might need bear spray, it's best to purchase it once you arrive at your destination. Finally, let's move on to the third item. Lithium batteries. These are commonly found in items like laptops, cameras, and even some toys. While small personal devices are generally fine to pack in your carry-on, spare lithium batteries are not allowed in your checked luggage. The reason? They run the risk of sparking or catching fire, which can be especially dangerous in the cargo hold of the plane. If you must travel with spare lithium batteries, make sure they are in your carry-on, where any potential issues can be addressed quickly. So always remember to check your luggage for these 3 items before you head to the airport. Moving on to the 4th item on our list, we have alcoholic beverages that are over 140 proof. Now, while it might seem like a great idea to bring your favorite high-proof spirit along for your vacation, the TSA begs to differ. These potent brews are considered a fire hazard, and as such, they're not allowed in your checked luggage. Instead, you're limited to alcohol that's under 140 proof. So, if you're planning on bringing along that bottle of Bacardi 151, you might want to reconsider. Next up at number 5, we have certain types of cheeses. Yes, you heard that right. Not all cheeses are created equal in the eyes of the TSA. Soft cheeses that are liquid or semi-liquid at room temperature, like brie or camembert, are not allowed in your checked luggage unless they're in containers of 3.4 ounces or less. This is because these cheeses can potentially leak and cause a mess in the luggage hold. So if you're planning on bringing back some delicious fromage from your trip to France, make sure it's a hard cheese like Comte or Roquefort. Finally, we come to item number 6, certain types of chocolate. Now, before you panic, let me clarify. Most chocolates are perfectly fine to pack in your checked luggage. However, there's one type of chocolate that's a no-go, and that's liquid-filled chocolates. Just like with the cheeses, these can potentially leak and make a mess. Plus, they might be mistaken for a liquid explosive under the wrong circumstances. So, if you were thinking of packing some of those fancy liqueur-filled chocolates, you might want to think again. These items might seem harmless, but they can cause serious issues during your flight, so when in doubt, it's always best to check with the TSA before you pack. Next up, we have a few items that might surprise you. You might think they're safe to pack in your checked luggage, but the TSA would beg to differ. Firstly, let's talk about sports equipment. While most sports gear is perfectly fine to check in, there are exceptions. For instance, baseball bats, cricket bats, and hockey sticks are a no-go. While these items may seem harmless when used for their intended sporting purposes, in the wrong hands, they could potentially be used as weapons. So, instead of packing them in your suitcase, consider shipping them to your destination or renting them once you arrive. Secondly, we've got tools. Now, I'm not talking about a little Swiss Army knife or a compact toolkit. I'm referring to heavy-duty tools like crowbars, drills, and hammers. These items are considered dangerous and are not permitted in your checked luggage. If you're traveling for a DIY project or a construction job, it's best to ship these items separately or arrange to have them at your destination when you arrive. Lastly, on our list for this segment, we have large electronic items. This may come as a surprise, but items like hoverboards and self-balancing scooters are not allowed in your checked baggage. Why, you ask? Well, these items contain large lithium batteries which pose a fire risk. And let's not forget about the potential damage that could happen to your electronic items during the rough and tumble of baggage handling. Remember, these rules are in place for everyone's safety. While it might seem like a hassle to arrange for these items separately, it's a small price to pay for a smooth and stress-free journey. After all, no one wants to be that person holding up the line at security or worse, having their luggage flagged for inspection. So whether you're an athlete, a DIY enthusiast, or a tech lover, keep these items in mind to avoid any inconvenience at the airport. As we continue with our list, the 10th item is lithium batteries. Yes, those small powerhouses that fuel our devices can actually pose a fire risk during flight. So, TSA prefers them in carry-on luggage where any potential issue can be tackled promptly. Spare lithium batteries, especially, are a no-go in checked luggage. Moving on, the 11th item is something we all use daily: electronic cigarettes. You might be thinking, it's just a small device, what harm could it do? But the lithium batteries that power e-cigarettes have been known to overheat and in some unfortunate instances cause fires, so TSA would rather you keep them with you in the cabin. The 12th item might surprise you: it's your smartphone. Now, we're not saying you can't travel with your phone, but if your phone has a recalled or potentially dangerous battery, like the notorious Samsung Galaxy Note 7, it's a definite no-no. Recalled or faulty batteries pose a serious fire risk, and we all remember the headlines about those phones catching fire. If you're unsure about your phone, it's best to check with the manufacturer or your airline. Now, you might be noticing a theme here. These items are all related to electronics or batteries. The common thread is the potential fire hazard they pose. While the risk is small, it's a risk nonetheless. And when you're cruising at 35,000 feet, even small risks can turn into big problems. So, what's the take-home message? While it might be convenient to tuck your spare batteries, e-cigs, or old phones into your checked luggage, it's not worth the potential safety risk. Instead, pack these items in your carry-on or leave them at home to ensure a smooth and safe travel experience. Always remember to double-check your electronics before packing them in your checked luggage. Getting closer to the end of our list, the 13th item is aerosol cans. Yes, even something as seemingly harmless as hairspray or deodorant can be a cause for concern. This is because aerosol cans are pressurized and can explode under certain conditions. So to avoid any potential mishaps, it's best to pack travel-sized versions of these items in your carry-on instead. Moving on to the 14th item, which might surprise you, it's electronic cigarettes and vaping devices. Despite their popularity, these devices are not allowed in checked luggage because their lithium batteries can catch fire. So if you're a vapor, make sure to keep your device with you in your carry-on luggage or on your person. Now let's turn to the 15th item, which is medical equipment. You would think that something so essential would be exempt from restrictions, right? Well, not exactly. While most medical equipment is allowed, there are certain types, like oxygen tanks, that are not permitted in checked luggage due to their potential to cause harm. If you're traveling with medical equipment, it's always best to check with your airline and the TSA beforehand to ensure you're not breaking any rules. In addition to these, there are certain personal care items that can't be packed in your checked luggage. These include sharp objects like razors or scissors and certain liquid or gel-based products. The TSA has a rule that any liquid, gel, or aerosol must be less than 3.4 ounces and must fit in a 1-quart-sized clear plastic zip-top bag. So it's not just about what you pack, but how you pack it as well. It's always a good idea to check the TSA's official website for the most up-to-date information on what you can and can't bring in your checked luggage. It's crucial to be aware of these restrictions, especially if you have specific medical needs. And for the final 3 items on our list, first up, we have snow globes. Yes, you heard it right. Those cute little globes that create a winter wonderland when shaken are actually prohibited in your checked luggage. Why, you may ask? Well, it's because the TSA considers the liquid inside the snow globes as a potential security threat. So, if you're planning to bring back a snow globe as a souvenir from your travels, you might want to reconsider. Next, we have something that might make you raise an eyebrow: Magic 8 balls. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would a toy be a problem? The issue here isn't about the toy itself, but rather the blue liquid inside it. Just like with snow globes, the TSA classifies the liquid as a potential security concern. So if you've packed a magic 8-ball for some on-the-go decision help, you might want to leave it at home. Last but not least, we have replica or toy guns. While they may seem harmless, the TSA has strict rules about these items. Even if they're just toys or replicas, they can still cause alarm during the security screening process, leading to delays and potential issues. So if you're traveling with children or are a fan of cosplay, remember to keep these items out of your checked luggage. I know it's surprising, right? Who would have thought that such innocent-looking items could cause such a fuss? But remember, these regulations are in place to ensure everyone's safety during their travels. So while it might be a bit inconvenient, it's a small price to pay for a smooth and secure journey. These last 3 items might surprise you, but they're definitely ones to remember. So, there you have it. The 18 things that TSA doesn't want to see in your checked luggage. From the seemingly harmless to the outright dangerous, we've covered a wide array of items that could land you in hot water if found in your checked luggage. It's surprising, isn't it? Who would have thought that your favorite apple butter or seemingly benign sporting equipment could cause such a fuss? But remember, these rules aren't there just to make your life difficult, they're in place to ensure the safety and security of all passengers on board. That antique sword you bought at a flea market might seem harmless when wrapped in layers of bubble wrap, but in the wrong hands it could become a potential threat. And it's not just about safety. Some items like certain fresh fruits and vegetables are restricted to prevent the spread of pests and diseases that could harm local ecosystems. Let's not forget about the potential consequences of ignoring these rules. Aside from delays and potential fines, having prohibited items in your luggage could lead to more serious legal implications. It's clear that knowing what to pack and what to leave at home is crucial when planning a trip. It can save you a lot of time, stress, and potentially a lot of money. And let's be honest, who wants to start their vacation with a run-in with airport security? This list might seem extensive, but it's not exhaustive. There are many other items that are restricted or prohibited, so it's always a good idea to double-check with the TSA or your airline before you start packing. And of course, common sense plays a big role. If you're unsure about an item, it's always better to leave it at home or ship it separately to avoid any potential issues. In conclusion, understanding and respecting these restrictions is part of being a responsible traveler. It's not just about following the rules, it's about ensuring the safety and well-being of yourself and your fellow passengers. Remember, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Always double-check your luggage before heading to the airport and have a safe flight.